Hey there, it's Sarah, back to help you smash those excuses and get in your workout no matter how busy your day is, because I get it. I'm busy myself. I have 4 kids that still live at home. The youngest is about to be 4. My oldest is already off on his own. He's made me a grandma. So I am busy. I get it. That's why I've created this series of 12-minute workouts. So no matter how busy your day is, you can still squeeze in that workout. Look, I haven't even changed out of my preschool drop-off clothes, and we're still going to get in that workout. Today is all about the arms. You're going to be seated. You can be on your couch. You might want some added weights. If you've got little light dumbbells, go ahead and grab those. If you don't, guess what? Go to your pantry. Grab 2 cans of food. It doesn't matter if they weigh the same or not, because we're going to switch arms and do each round of exercise 2 times. So if you want some added resistance, grab some light weights, grab some cans of food, maybe some bottles of water, something you can hold in your hands to add a little bit of weight. If you don't want to do that, no worries, just work your arms without the added weight. Let's get comfortable in our seat. Today we're going to work 30 seconds at a time. There's really no breaks except for one short one right in the middle. If you need breaks at any time, set your little weights down, stretch out those shoulders, and let's get back to it as quickly as you can, because you've only got 12 minutes to get in that workout today. I'm going to start our timer, and you're going to be seated in your chair, bringing your elbows behind you, your weights or your hands up by your ribs, and then just extend them forward, up in line with those shoulders if you can. Here we go. Serving trays for 30 seconds. Bend those elbows behind you, extend the arms up in front. You want to keep a slight bend as you bring those arms up in front. Our knuckles are facing down, our palms are facing up. We're sitting tall wherever we are, and our belly button is always tight to our spine. We keep that core on as we exercise. When you hear the bell, you're going to keep your arms extended. So keep those shoulders down away from the ears. Keep the arms out in front, and just take those hands out wide and then bring them back in front of the shoulders. Open and close. Soft bend in the elbows. Light grip on your weights or your cans or your bottles of water, whatever you're holding. Keep those shoulder blades reaching towards those back ribs, and try to pull them towards each other as you open those arms. We're going to keep this strong posture with the arms in front, little crisscrosses. So belly button is in tight. We're supporting that low back. And we're just crossing our hands one over the other. Our palms are still up, our knuckles facing down, our shoulders away from our ears, and those shoulders are probably starting to feel a little tired. We're also working those upper arms, a little bit of the chest, and some upper back. Those posture muscles are working. We're going to take it to bicep curls, but they're little pulses. Tuck the elbows in under the shoulder, and then just move your hands up 1 to 2 inches. If you've got weights or you're holding something that's weighted, keep a light grip. Just let those weights rest in your hands. And just move up and down 1 to 2 inches, elbows tucked into those ribs right under the shoulders. Still sitting up tall. But when we hear this bell, we're going to lean forward over the lap just a little bit, and we're going to bend those elbows back behind us, pulling them up as high as we can. And we're going to extend our arms back and then take a little bend, bring them back in. Extend back as far as you can. Bend back in about halfway. You don't want to come in all the way. We want to keep some tension on the back of the arms. Try to lock the elbows as you lift up and back. Keep those shoulders away from the ears. Squeeze through the back of the arms as you lift your hands as far back as you can. We're going to have the arms straight, the palms forward, knuckles back. Sit tall and circle those arms up overhead, and then circle them back down by the hips. Keeping the shoulders down as you reach those arms up, and then bring them back down, keeping that core tight. Big, big circle up and down. Try to keep your hands right in front of the body as you do this. And then we're going to take those knuckles up, palms down, arms straight. And we're just going to bring those arms up in line with the shoulders or a tiny bit higher. And then bring them right in front of those knees. Up and down. Keep those shoulder blades reaching towards the back ribs. Feel that upper back engaged. Feel that core engaged. And work the front of the shoulders. When we hear the bell, we're going to hold our hands up in line with the shoulders or slightly higher. And we're just going to alternate arms right in front of the knee, one and then the other. Keeping engagement in those shoulders, working the front of them. Upper back is still engaged. Feel those shoulder blades pulling towards those back ribs. If you need to bring that lifted hand down just a little bit, you can. It can be below the shoulders. We're back to our serving trays at the bell, giving the front of the shoulder a tiny break as we bend those elbows back and then extend forward. Try not to straighten the arms all the way as you go forward. Keep a slight bend in the elbows. Don't let those shoulders lift up. And you choose the range. You can stop below the shoulders. When you hear the bell, we're going to keep these weights up or just your hands up in front. And we're going to rotate through the shoulders as we take those knuckles up and then back down. Knuckles up, then palms up. Rotating through the shoulder joints so that the whole arm is moving as one. Don't try not to rotate from the wrist or the elbow. That's what I was trying to say. Rotate from that shoulder. Shoulders should be feeling tired, but we're not quite done with them. We're going to keep the knuckles up and repeat our little crisscross right in front of you. If those shoulders are getting too tired, crisscross right over those knees. Or try to keep those hands up high, maybe a little higher than the shoulders. Squeeze through the chest as well. Just squeeze those armpits towards the center of the sternum just a little bit as you crisscross, keeping those shoulders down. I told you we had one short break. It's coming in 5 seconds. Round one is done. If you're holding cans of food or something that are different weights, switch hands so that we can even things out for round two. Stretch out those shoulders. If you don't need a recovery and you've already switched hands, bring your elbows up and start alternating overhead press. If you don't want to do this and you want to keep stretching for 8 more seconds, you can do that as well. You pick, you've got 5 seconds, and then we're back to our serving trays. Knuckles down, palms up. Pull the elbows behind you, extend forward, slight bend in those arms. Shoulders down. So round two, we've reached a little bit of fatigue, hopefully, in these arms and shoulders. Now we're going to work through it and we're going to build some muscle. That's the goal anyway. Belly button still tight to that spine. Bringing in the chest muscles. Let's take those arms out and then squeeze them back in. Try to pull those shoulder blades together as you take the arms wide. Squeeze those armpits together as you press those arms in. Keep those shoulders down away from the ears. You choose the speed and you choose the height of those hands. Maybe a little higher than the shoulders, maybe a little lower, maybe right at shoulder height. Little crisscrosses coming next. Making these muscles tired so they're forced to get a little bit stronger for us. Tiny crisscrosses. You choose the height. Remember, if you need a second to shake it out at any time, take it, but get right back into it as soon as you can. 12 more seconds here. Little crisscrosses. Shoulders down, shoulders burning a little bit. They're going to get a short break as we hit those biceps with our tiny pulses. Elbows right under the shoulders, and just move 1 to 2 inches with those hands. Try to squeeze the biceps. Think about the muscles that we're trying to strengthen and make them work just a little bit harder. Focus on that muscle contraction. Tuck the elbows in right under those shoulders for 12 more seconds. Then we'll get the back of the arms as we lean forward over the lap. You'll bend the elbows a little bit further behind you. And we're going to extend the arms back as far as you can and then bend about halfway back in. Keep the elbows lifted and try to keep them reaching towards each other. Shoulder blades are still pulling in. We're working a little bit of upper back as well as the back of the arms. Try not to let the shoulders hunch up by the ears, and try to lengthen those arms all the way back so that we're squeezing the back of the arms. Big arm circles. Knuckles back, palms forward, arms up. Circle them back down by the hips. As you bring those arms up, don't let the shoulders lift with them. Keep a slight bend in the elbows, and if you can, keep those hands right in front of the body. Just about an inch. Your belly button is still towards your spine. And we're going to our front raise next. Slight bend in those arms, knuckles up, palms down. And we're going to lift up a little higher than the shoulders if you can. Come back right in front of those knees. Up and down. If going a little above the shoulders is too much, stop at the shoulders or stop a little below. Keep those shoulder blades reaching towards those back ribs. Don't let those shoulders hunch up. You've got 8 more seconds. And then we're going to hold up in front and alternate arms. So keep those arms as high as you can and just bring one down and then hold that one up as you bring the other one down. You choose the height here of that hold. If those arms are getting tired, you can do a bottom range movement. You can keep that hand low. Make sure your core is still engaged. Your shoulders are not lifting. We're going to give those shoulders a tiny break with our serving trays in 3 seconds. We're going to flip it so that the palms are up, knuckles are down, bend the elbows behind you, extend those arms up in front. If those shoulders are feeling really tired, stop below the shoulders. If we're feeling strong, let's go a little higher. You're halfway through these. We're going to hold those arms out in front when you hear this bell in 8 seconds. If you need a second to stretch out those shoulders, you've got 3 seconds before the arms are extended, and we're going to rotate through that shoulders to bring knuckles up and then back down. Palms down, and then rotate through the shoulders so the whole arm moves as one, and you choose how high away from the knees you're keeping those hands. If you're holding weights, put them down if you need to, and just work those arms with no added resistance. 5 more seconds. And then we'll have those knuckles up, palms down, and we crisscross. Little crosses. So if our shoulders are burning too much and this is getting too difficult, bring them down a little bit and crisscross closer to those knees. If you're wanting to push yourself for the last of this workout, bring those hands just a little bit higher. Don't forget that core, belly button up tight, shoulders still down away from the ears. No stretch this time. You've got 30 seconds. We're going to bend the elbows up in front of us. Knuckles to the sides, palms facing in. Alternate overhead press to finish off your shoulder and arm workout today. Try to keep the elbow right in front of the face and take your hands straight up and down. Don't let the shoulders lift with you. I know they're tired. This is where they get stronger. Keep with it for 8 more seconds. And then you can get on with your day. 3, 2, 1. Done. That's it. Stretch out those shoulders, stretch out your chest, stretch out those arms. Get yourself some water. Give yourself a pat on the back. Maybe throw on another workout. There's a little bit of everything here at 12 Minute Fit, or get back to that busy day. That's what I'm about to do, and I'll see you next time. Thanks so much for joining me.